also here today to deliver our petition to Shell with over 70,000 signatures from impacted residents and allies, not just in the U.S., but across the world, who are calling on Shell to comply with 6 asks for accountability and transparency with the community. The 6 asks are: we expect Shell to ensure the community is prepared for emergencies, immediately notify residents and appropriate others of incidents, use the best available monitoring technology, respect our shared night sky, address the plastics crisis, and support climate action. So we're super grateful for over 70,000 people who signed this petition, and we hope that it means that Shell and the county commissioners actually take action to be accountable to the people they are polluting.
I live in Independence in Beaver County. I have a daughter who will be 4 in August. I love where I live, but I've been heartbroken about some things in the past few years. First, the trees were cut down for the fracking wells and the pipelines, one of which takes the fracked ethane to the cracker plant. We also started hearing the noise from the natural gas processing plant. Then we stopped being able to see the stars like we used to because of the lights and then the flaring from the cracker plant. The air pollution from all of this infrastructure is certainly not a good thing to have to raise your family in. Now we worry about the water and soil contamination. Just as we had started to enjoy improvements in our environment, we are now mourning the loss of these things due to petrochemicals. The petrochemicals of the malfunctioning cracker plant and its infrastructure, and the petrochemicals on that Norfolk Southern train. And this is all one big out of control train that's got to be stopped. So here we are today in solidarity. I've heard from so many concerned parents and grandparents. We are not going to stand by and watch while our children's health is compromised. Unlike the visible soot of the past, petrochemical pollution is often invisible until it results in serious negative health impacts such as cancer, as well as respiratory, cardiovascular, neurological, and reproductive problems. Families living near petrochemical facilities should be protected from harmful pollution. As community members, we are often not told what all is being emitted from Shell's facility, even when we can smell chemicals in the air. People in our community are scared about how the pollution is affecting their children. Children are especially vulnerable to pollution because their bodies are still developing and because they breathe in more air relative to their size than adults. Breathing in more air can mean breathing in more pollution. An association has been found between higher levels of air toxics such as benzene and increased rates of childhood leukemia. Knowing how harmful air toxics are to our children's health, but not knowing what is actually being emitted by Shell is a serious source of anxiety for me and far too many parents.
I first want to start by saying how inspiring and impactful this community has been, not only locally, but certainly an inspiration to all of us who have been fighting this petrochemical development a couple hours away in Belmont County, Ohio, my homelands. And their example of a community of care, how suffering and struggles can in fact bring blessings, and the blessings of togetherness and unity to protect and fight for what we love. So I'm really grateful for your example in that. I'm a fracking refugee, and I've made that statement many times. I had 78 fracking wells, a compressor station, interstate pipeline, transfer stations, all built around my home. But I'm also a plastics production refugee. We were told many lies, but the biggest one by the oil and gas industry was that fracking in Appalachia was for energy independence. It's actually about plastic production.
And we know that the Shell plant is not just polluting Beaver County, but folks in West Virginia and Ohio, putting pollution into the water that it's making downway the Ohio River and causing problems for our friends and neighbors downstream.
If Shell really wants to be a good neighbor, if Shell really wants to curtail climate change, they would stop making single-use plastics.
I'm so inspired by everyone's initiative to be here and to stand up against Shell. We are witnessing a climate disaster in Beaver County with our own eyes, yet people still want to deny the existence of climate change or the impact this plant is going to have on us. Genuinely, I'm terrified. We've seen the plant have significant problems, just as many community members had anticipated this would occur, and begged Shell to stop production, but nobody cared to listen. This is scary. Shell expects us to sit by and allow them to pollute our air and our water, and we cannot allow that. They think they can buy back our air or our health. No amount of money can replenish the price of our lives and the earth around us. We need the commissioners to hear us today. These demands are urgent and vital. A world where the growth of the economy is more important than the growth of our Earth is heartbreaking to see. We cannot sit back and allow the Earth to be killed. We need to mobilize everyone to work together to let Shell know we do not want them here and we never will. I feel hopeful that together we are stronger in Beaver County and can and will come together to stop the plant and the continuous dangerous effects it will have on us.